At the beginning of the story, we see a storm rising from the sea, but today, it was not raining water, but plastic and other waste. At this moment, in a car passing on the road, we see Barbara and her daughter. Seeing this strange sight, Barbara called her ex-husband. As soon as Buckle picked up the phone, he told them to come back quickly, but halfway, they got stuck in traffic. Barbara told her daughter to run and go inside the building, which was very close. The worker standing outside saw that an anchor was about to fall on her daughter. He immediately ran and saved his daughter. A little later, Barbara also arrived, and the whole family was reunited. The authorities had no way to stop this strange situation. Everyone just watched the sky filled with plastic. Among the waste that came out of the sea was also the Titanic, which finally arrived in New York after 114 years. All these strange events began when some fishermen went fishing in the sea. But as soon as they cast their net, along with fish, a sea creature also got caught in their net. After this, we see Buckle, who received news of an oil leak in the sea. He had to work on the cleanup with the British military. While heading for the mission, he passed through London to safely drop off his daughter Kirby to her mother. After saying goodbye to his daughter and ex-wife, he went to the airport with Sergeant Hannah and then boarded a military plane. Soon, he reached a secret place where the dead body of that sea creature was kept. There, it was revealed that this creature was found about 3 miles from the shore. When the fishermen saw the monster emerging from the net, they shot it and tried to sell its body online, but the colonel took action at the right time. He covered up the case and bought that body so the army could research it. Pierce began saying that such sea creatures are mentioned in ancient stories. Their species was called Homo aqua. When the scientists checked the body, they found a pearl below the creature's throat, exactly like the one they had found in the previous specimen. To communicate with these underwater creatures, the army set up camps in the mountains and sent signals using a machine. After dark, while the others were sleeping, Morgan and Sarah were assigned to guard the body of that Homo aqua. Around 2:30 at night, both felt something was wrong. Suddenly, water began filling the ground, and Sarah started sinking while moving forward. Morgan tried to save her and reached out his hand, but something pulled Sarah down hard. A few seconds later, Morgan also went down the same way. Before going down, he called for help, but the other soldiers didn't arrive in time. At the same time, that body was also stolen. Just then, the alarm sounded, and all the soldiers got up to look. When the general reached the tent, he couldn't find Morgan and Sarah anywhere. When he tried to talk to them on the radio, he discovered the radio was underground. After those monsters left, the ground had hardened again. When Pierce bent down to check, he found Morgan's hand. At that moment, Barclay understood he had been sent on a very dangerous mission. He asked, "What kind of creature is this?" Hannah told him that this is their team's job. They try to communicate with unknown creatures, but this Homo aqua is not an alien. They have been on Earth even before humans and have been underwater for thousands of years. But now they have awakened again and want to take back the planet. That night, the army saw a Homo aqua approaching the beach. The general told his soldiers to lower their guns because he wanted to talk. With the help of a translation device, Pierce spoke to the creature and invited it for a meeting. The creature was very angry because one of its people had been killed by fishermen. On this, Pierce said, "I have also lost 2 of my soldiers." After this, both made a peace agreement so that both groups would stop killing each other. Even after the agreement, that fisherman said our people are tired of living in hiding. At that same moment, in every country in the world, people began seeing Homo aqua emerging for the first time. They said they have been here even before humans. This is their world too. The first official meeting between the 2 species took place in London. For this meeting, a bridge called Waterway was built, connecting land and water. When everyone reached their places, Kate ordered the engineers to start the waterway. Along with Homo aqua, 3 other large strange creatures arrived. A big fish, a mermaid, and a woman who looked human. In a short time, Salt learned the human language and began understanding the ambassador's words. At the beginning of the meeting, Salt explained why she had come herself. Some time ago, her children were about to be born, but the oil spilled from human ships had poisoned that area. To keep the meeting calm, Jonathan said, "We want to fix our mistakes," but Salt ignored him. She said she would only talk to Burke, because he was the only human who had shown respect for the dead Homo aqua. To find out why Homo aqua wanted Barclay as their ambassador, Kate interrogated him and scrutinized every detail of his life. Jonathan's attempt to make him the ambassador between the 2 species failed because Salt only wanted to talk to Burke. Therefore, the president of their unit told Burke that I will prepare you for this opportunity. Upon arriving at the hotel where Burke was going to stay for a few days, he saw there was very tight security. In his room, his daughter and ex-wife were already there. When Barbara found out that Burke had been chosen for negotiations with Homo aqua, she was shocked. Meanwhile, Kate was thinking about what they would do if a fight broke out. Then, at the scheduled time, Burke went to meet with Homo aqua. After the initial conversation, Salt asked the committee members for a glass of water from the Thames River. The agents immediately got up to get the water. As soon as the glass of water entered the room, Burke tried to give that glass to Salt, but Salt said this water is for you. Hearing this, Burke was shaken. He didn't know what to do. Instead of drinking the water, he started giving a speech that was written on the screen. But when Salt said I don't want this rehearsed speech, the ambassador abandoned the script and said that the pollution of water and soil is the result of human foolishness. Admitting his people's mistake, Burke said that humans have ruined the earth, but now they want to repair the damage. Hearing this, Salt said I like you. That night, in the hotel room, Burke saw his daughter coming and understood she couldn't sleep. The truth was she was worried about her father. When Buckle saw that his daughter wasn't looking too well, he said that tomorrow I will have you sent back home so you aren't stuck here in the hotel. Hearing this, Kirby said I want to stay with my dad. The next morning, during their third meeting, Burke explained that the leaders of all countries in the world have spoken with climate scientists and private companies, and we are trying to create a plan to improve the polluted state of the sea. According to the numbers and data, the result is that by the year 2065, we can reduce pollution by 50%. But when Salt found out that reducing just 50% pollution would take 40 years, she completely rejected this proposal. She said that every day our people are dying because of your negligence. Salt said our people can no longer see or hear properly. They are having trouble because you all are causing so much pollution. On this, Burke felt that she was speaking absolutely correctly. He had no option but to apologize. Then he said if both our species work together on this mission, maybe it can be done faster. On this, Salt said if we start helping, it will be done very quickly. Suddenly a storm began, and at the same time, many countries saw changes in the sea. That day, all the waste that humans had thrown into the sea returned to land. Plastic and a lot of dirty stuff started falling from the sky, and now the story reached the point where it had begun. Even after so much damage to countries worldwide, Barclay continued the conversation with the sea people because humans knew they couldn't win such a fight. The good thing was that Salt was still willing to talk, but she said I will only have peace if humans accept 3 conditions. The first condition is that there should be no pollution of any kind in the sea, and you should stop operating your ships. The second condition was that direct borders should be established between land and sea so that humans do not enter the sea. Because humans are made to live on land, they should not go into the sea or the sky above it. Hearing this, the committee members flared up because this would cut off people living on all continents from each other. When Salt saw that the humans in the room were getting too angry, she changed her voice and took on a human form to control them. As soon as people calmed down and returned to their seats, Salt returned to her original form. Then she began stating the third condition, which is necessary for peace between humans and sea people. For this, she gave some coordinates in the sea and said the next meeting would be there. In this, it's not just about going far into the sea, but Burke would have to dive 5 miles down so he could meet the Homo Aqua in their home. Now the next challenge was that going to such a depth is also very difficult because the water pressure 5 miles down is extremely high. To date, no such submarine has been built that can dive 5 miles down. Anyway, General Pierce and his team boarded the vessel with Burke. Their hatch was completely sealed with bolts. After launch, it took the submarine about 2 hours to reach the meeting point. During the journey, the 6 passengers began talking among themselves about what they would do if they survived and returned home. When Burke saw that a man named Ted was very scared, he tried to calm him down. Encouraging his companions, Burke somehow reassured himself as well. Just a few minutes later, their submarine stopped. Pierce tried to contact his team to inform them that they had reached the bottom, but there was no response. A little later, the team felt that this submarine was moving very fast, but no one could understand what was happening, because their connection to the surface was completely lost. Checking the external pressure, Min realized that the pressure here was exactly like on land, which should be completely impossible because they were supposed to be 5 miles down. Suddenly the submarine shook, and all the lights went off, after which everyone put on their oxygen masks. When the hatch opened, everyone was surprised because water didn't enter the submarine, so they decided to go outside. Going out, they saw they were inside a cave, where the temperature is also 21 degrees Celsius and there is plenty of oxygen in the air. When the team was amazed seeing this place, Salt appeared. She told them you are the first humans to reach such depth. This environment has been specially prepared for them. Therefore, they can remove their oxygen masks. Salt took them to the meeting room, where people of her species had gathered to decide the future of land and sea. That night, Kate received a call from a member of her team. She found out that coded conversations had taken place between diplomats from several countries. While talking on the phone, Kate was attacked by a sniper, but her boyfriend saved her by sacrificing his own life. At that same moment, Ted, who was the only diplomat who hadn't removed his oxygen mask, gave Salt a gift. When Burke realized that the globe was actually just a cover, something else was inside, he immediately lunged to take it away from Salt. But the bomb exploded, and in this blast, many fishermen were killed, and all members of Burke's team also died. Only Burke survived because Salt had saved him. While sending a squad on Kate's mission, Shirley received news of the death of the diplomats who had gone on the mission and immediately informed the media. After the news, a video was shown to the world in which it seemed that Salt had intentionally killed Burke and his team, and any human who enters the sea will meet the same fate. But the truth was that this video was fake, and the government had done this to increase hatred between the two species. Swimming rapidly toward the surface, Salt saw that a helicopter had been sent to rescue Burke. As soon as Burke reached land, he reported that the reason for the blast was Ted. Kate believed Burke but said she would have to interrogate Salt. For now, Salt was taken into custody. Now Kate quickly began investigating who had paid that man. That man had stage 4 cancer, and he was willing to do anything to complete this mission. Due to Salt's sharp understanding, blame did not fall on her species. But now she was locked in a steel container. Knowing that his friend would be confined in a lab and experimented on, Burke took action. Taking the truck keys, he reversed the vehicle and dropped the container into the river. As soon as Salt was freed, Burke himself jumped into the water and Salt saved him. That night, Homo Aqua called a new meeting at the Imperial House. This time, instead of Salt, a seaman named Tide came. He began saying how humans have become so insane that they got their own people killed in the blast. When Kate apologized to him, Tide asked where is Salt. He said that for us, she is a traitor. Instead of her own people, she saved a human. When he found out that Salt had escaped with Burke's help and was still missing, Tide ordered to find her and bring her back. If that doesn't happen, the real war will now begin. While the entire city was searching for them, Salt and Burke were hiding in an anonymous warehouse. Salt was celebrating her freedom. Talking to Burke, she asked, "Why did you risk your life?" Just then, suddenly the two kissed each other. The truth was they had fallen in love, but Burke was still worried about Salt. He said you should go back into the sea, but Salt knew that if she went, her own species people would kill her, calling her a traitor. After hearing all this, Burke concluded that they would have to leave the city. He took his partner's help and stole a young man's mobile phone so he could talk to Barbara, his ex-wife, because now perhaps only she could help them. But instead of helping Burke, Barbara shared the call with government agents and called them to a place to meet so Burke could be captured. When Burke saw Barbara packing the car, he ran with Salt toward the bridge, and they both were surrounded. At that same moment, a man from Kate's team reported that the video was fake in which Salt had declared war against humans. Hearing this, Kate ordered her soldiers to retreat, but General Ginsburg insisted that the woman be stopped. As soon as Kate realized that the general could even kill Salt if necessary, she ordered her team to quickly change their target and aimed their guns at the British soldiers. Just as the two armies were about to clash, suddenly Salt let out a very loud scream and then jumped into the river. That night, Homo Aqua began emitting a sound that brought all the dogs from nearby coastal cities to the shore, and then they used fishing nets to capture them. The next day, when asked about the animals, Tide said we ate them. Exactly like humans eat sea fish. After seeing satellite images, scientists found out that Homo Aqua are actually melting glaciers. If nothing changes, Antarctica will lose 300 billion tons of ice every year. If that happens, in no time, the sea level will rise by 1,600 feet and almost all humans will drown. Now Jonathan began talking with Tide to find a way to save humanity. On this, the fisherman said humans have only 5 years to completely repair the planet. If the damage isn't fixed in that time, the entire human species will be eliminated. You people simply aren't worthy of living on this planet. Meanwhile, the authorities were deciding what to do with Burke, and he was kept under surveillance inside a hotel room. One day, suddenly after eating, Barclay fainted, and scientists entered his room. While he was sleeping, those people injected him and took his fingerprints so they could later frame him under false charges. As soon as the scientists left, Burke regained consciousness and secretly went to the beach, hoping that maybe he would find Salt. After sunrise, the fishwoman appeared, and Burke ran to her. He was happy to know she was alive. Instead of running away with him, Salt told him to demand a new agreement with Tide. Otherwise, his people will destroy the entire human species. Saying this, Salt prepared to leave. Before leaving, she kissed Burke and went back into the sea. Buckle immediately went to Kate and her team to send a message to Tide, but unfortunately, there was no response. A few days later, millions of Homo Aqua corpses were found on coasts worldwide. Upon testing, it was discovered that they had been infected by a disease, because of which their gills for breathing underwater closed, and they drowned and died. Surprisingly, only Homo Aqua were affected. All other sea creatures are perfectly fine. Hearing this, Kate concluded that this was perhaps some virus created by humans, and she regretted not understanding earlier. That day, Kate's team received a help signal from the depths of the sea, and now Burke was called again for a meeting. As soon as he found out that Salt was coming to talk to him, he cried with joy and barely stopped himself from hugging her. The announcement of the end of the war was made. Salt revealed that only 10% of our population remains. She said that those who carried out this cowardly attack will be punished by the water itself. To rebuild relations between the two species, Kate put her mind to it and chose a special place. She told them, you all can live here. Here is the deepest sea in the world. Neither is there the pollution spread by humans nor anything else. Before leaving, Salt showed the sad end of her friend. She explained that our people are ending the war because those who remain are now too afraid of human evil. We cannot compete with humans because cunning like humans is not in our nature. Then, as Homo Aqua left, cracks began to appear in the glass panels of the Great Hall that kept the water out. Everyone panicked and started trying to get out. Burke remained calm, waiting for his end, but Hannah saved him. That day, Kate received Burke's medical test results and found out that his DNA had changed. Now his genes have become like those of Homo Aqua. Knowing this, Kate decided that he should be taken to the sea so he could reunite with Salt. After kissing Salt, suddenly gills appeared on Barkley, allowing him to breathe underwater as well. Now he has the chance to choose his own destiny, and he decided he would stay in the sea with Salt. If you liked the video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel.